graduation, married an amazing guy, and had the two sweetest children. After a quarter of a century in this world, I hadn't achieved any of that. The bakery where I'd started working straight out of high school closed when its owner, Ms. Goodfellow, retired. I'd moved back in with my parents and worked odd babysitting jobs ever since. I loved working with children. They had the uncanny ability to make a person forget about their troubles. However, the fact that I had no career, no partner in life, and no place in the world to call my own had been harder to deal with the older I got. When the application for the liaison program had been made public, I applied on a whim. The opportunity to travel to another planet, live among an alien race, and learn a new culture enticed me. Without a boyfriend, a job, or even an apartment, I didn't have much to give up. The position on the application was stated as potential spouse. And frankly, the prospect of an out-of-this-world romance appealed to me too. Never in a million years had I thought I'd be the one chosen out of the thousands of applicants. I'd expected a long selection process with several rounds, but the reply came a week after the application submission deadline. When I saw my name as the selected candidate, it felt like I'd finally achieved something. "Has he called you yet?" Lily asked. My smile slipped off. Colonel Kratos, my potential spouse, hadn't contacted me at all. There'd been no messages, no calls, no communication, nothing. I snapped my spine straight and plastered the smile back on my face. "The Colonel is meeting me upon landing, and I'll be there in less than 24 hours, so—" Lily pursed her lips. "It's rather weird, don't you think, Daisy? Wouldn't a man be eager to talk to his bride? He hasn't even seen you, other than the application picture." "Well, it's not a typical situation. I'm hardly his bride." I wasn't thinking about myself as a bride or a wife yet, though the papers I'd signed were titled marriage contract. Voranian's birth rate had historically been hovering at about 1 girl to 10 boys. In ancient times, their families comprised a wife with multiple husbands. Since all the technological advancements and cultural developments had taken place, the Voranian society had eventually moved on to a single-partner marriage. Now, a wife only had one husband. With women being so few, most men never got married. However, every healthy male could have a family of his own. Artificially inseminated, the married females carried the babies of the unmarried males. Multiple births were a norm. As a result, the Voranians didn't have repopulation problems. Having reached a healthy birth rate in their country, they even ensured the slight population growth required to support their economy. They weren't interested in human females as breeders. Scientists had determined humans and Voranians weren't genetically compatible to reproduce anyway. Though physiologically, the two species could have sex. Since Voran ended up being populated predominantly by single dads, the role of a human woman would be that of a companion as well as a child caregiver, I imagined. And that made my heart melt. The Colonel had 2 young boys, 5-year-old twins, and I was dying to meet them. I had yet to see any images of them. When I woke up, I'd hoped some kind of communication would have come from the Colonel during my 5 months of sleep. There had been nothing, and I couldn't help being disappointed. I hid it from Lily now, smiling wider than ever. There was no need to upset my sister. "I'll get to meet his entire family soon enough." Her frown of concern didn't ease. "I hope Voranians look better in person," she sighed. "Lily!" I threw my hands up in the air. "You can't hold their appearance against them. For all we know, they're lovely people." I know. They're just so scary looking."